I want to talk to you. I want to talk to you about the reason why I decided to create the series Woman to Woman. I want to tell you a little bit of my story about the women that are in my life, and maybe you understand why I decided to do this. For you that don't know me, my name is Sandra. I think everybody knows me that watch this, or maybe somebody told you to watch it because I talk about different stores and different people. But my name is Sandra. I was born and raised in Brazil. I moved here when I was 22. But before that happened, I have to tell a little bit of my story. Like I said, I was born and raised in Brazil. I was raised by a mom and a dad, but basically my mom was kind of like a single mom because my dad was an alcoholic. And I think they say the person that was still is, but he's a recovered alcoholic right now. He's been sober for 45 years and he's an amazing father right now. But when I was being raised by my mom, he was not very present. He was present because he was like doing the things that the father does, going to work, bringing home the money. My mom was working too, but basically she was the one who encouraged us, raised me, basically told me what life was like about and all of that. We are raised by her, my sister and I, and we had a very nice childhood. Didn't lack anything. Basically, the only thing that we lacked was my father's being present, but she did an amazing job. She was an amazing woman. I'm going to talk a little bit about her too. That's the reason I'm doing this, because I think it's important for a woman and any woman to know that what we go through, it's what makes us, what makes us who you are today. And because of my mom and because of the way she did it, and because the way that she was like showing us life and showing us how to do it, that's why I'm who I am today, I believe, 100%. But anyway, so she used to work outside of the home. We stayed with babysitters, we stayed with family members, we stayed with like a bunch of people that were helping her raise us. But what I remember the most about her is that she was always the person that would say like, if you think about it and if you make the commitment, you're gonna be able to fulfill it. So don't be like thinking that you cannot do this or cannot do that, because you're gonna make it, you're gonna do it if you make the commitment. And I believe that's why I got my, the way I do it, the way I think about life, the way I, present myself. I'll make a commitment with you and I'm 100% gonna try to make that happen. So I think that's, was brought me to where I am right now, the way I see life, the way I do stuff. That's because of her. When I was, we had a childhood, we, being raised by her, we were super happy. Kids don't know much of the stuff that's happening anyways. So when I was 15, actually, I had like an episode, something happened to me. I went to the hospital, I fainted, and I went to the hospital and I went to a psychiatrist. And on that meeting, my dad was there, my mom was there, my sister, I believe my sister was there too, I'm not 100% sure. But he asked me, why do you think that's happening to you? Why do you think that you're feeling this way? And why do you think, the situation happened to you? And I said, well, I'm super stressed because I hate my father. I don't like the way he treats us. We're always on the edge with him. We don't know what's happening. And from that day on, that day, my dad decided to stop drinking. And he went to an AA meeting. After that meeting, he went to an AA meeting. And from that on, he has been the most amazing person that you can possibly meet. This guy is unbelievable. So the thing that, from the age that I was raised by my mom, and then when my dad got into like being there and doing stuff for us and being like present, it's not even doing stuff because he was doing before. He was like going to work and bringing the money and doing that. But just being present, just being there for us, like, just again, emotionally available to us. I think that was the big difference that made in my life. So basically from 15 on, I was raised by two amazing parents. But I always had like this, confidence. I was always like they put it in me like this confidence that, you can do anything you want. You're a powerful woman. Life is not going to treat you different if you don't let them treat you different. So it was being, I was raised by both of them, but at the age of 15. And then when I went to school there in Brazil, we went to start college in Brazil, but didn't finish because I decided to come here. So I met my husband when I was 18, I think. We met when I was 18. And we decided that, we start dating and did that, And then we decided, okay, let's take a vacation. Let's go somewhere. So we decided, let's go to Rio de Janeiro. Excuse me. Let's go to Rio de Janeiro. And then we decided, okay, let's go to Rio. Let's try it. Let's see what happens. And we're like, Mom, if you're going to go to Rio, let's go further. Let's go to Argentina, whatever. I don't even know if it's further, but let's go to Argentina. And we decided, okay, let's go try to do that. And then my husband's like, we got a couple friends that are like doing the trip with us. And my friend's like, well, if we're going to go that far, why don't we go to the United States and see what's there for us? And we look at each other, was like, oh, okay, we can do that. Let's try that. So we decided to do that. But I was like, I don't know if I want to do that and not be married. I think I was engaged by that time. I don't know if I want to do this without being married. So I talked to my husband, my mom, and my dad, my fiancé at the time, and we decided to get married then. We came to my mom and my dad and said, hey, we're going to get married because we think about going to the United States and see what life presents to us there. We're going to go for 5 years maybe, or like not even that. We'll see what happens. So we got married in the court only, and got paperwork done. I got my passport with my my main name, I think that's what they say, I'm not sure, with the name that I have today, with my husband's last name. And then we got married and started making plans to come here. Got our visa, got everything done, and moved here, got married and moved here when I was 22. So do the math. If you know me, you do the math. Been here for 37 years now. In this meantime, I came here to the United States, guys, literally knowing hi and bye. Those are the only two words that I knew. Crazy situation. Just, try to come here and see what happened, like what was life on the other side of the world. Moved here with another couple of a friend of ours. They decided that they're not going to stay. They're going to go back to Brazil. And my husband and I look at each other like, oh, I think we're going to stay. I think we're going to, venture out and see what happens. Moved into Oakland to a studio apartment. My husband and I and this other couple were living together in a studio apartment in Oakland, and they decided to go back. My husband and I decided to stay. We decided to stay just because, there was nothing there in Brazil for us. Brazil was Brazil, if you know Brazil, it's a beautiful country. It's an amazing place to go, but only if you have something there. Because if like us, we're starting the life, it was like, there's nothing, only family. But I say only family, but you know what I mean, like financially, like not, a place for you to venture out when you're getting married or like starting a life. So we decided to stay. Stayed here for 7 years without being able to go back to Brazil because, situations, money, all of that was involved. And I was like, you know what, we can. I cried for the first, I want to say 6 months, every single night I cried. Because I was missing my mom, I was missing my family, I was missing my country. And every single night that I would go to bed and cry, my husband would ask me, do you want to go back? And I was like, nope, I don't want to go back. I just want to stay here. But allow me to have these feelings because they are real and I miss them, everybody. But I don't want to go back to Brazil. So with that mentality, we start working, we start getting my husband was a mechanic in Brazil. We bought a couple pieces of tools for him here, and we used to walk. I don't know if you guys know the area, but think about like a distance of like maybe, oh gosh, I don't even know. We used to walk like for hours, okay, from where we live to go to fix a car so we could get like the money to pay the rent and all of that. It was an amazing experience. I thought it was great. I used to walk in Oakland at night and not even consider, because basically everything here for us was different from Brazil and was better. So, we didn't even think about it. So everybody was like, oh, United States or whatever you go is super safe, there was no crime and blah, blah, blah. So we're like, okay, cool, we're doing this. So we did that. We got to the point that we got a job in it was let me explain this. It's like a place, it was a factory kind of a thing where they make the food to bring to the airplanes. You know what I mean? Like they packed. It was like I don't know how to call that, but anyways, so we used to make the food for the airplanes. So we worked there for a couple months. Didn't work out. We didn't, like it. So I got a job as a babysitter through a friend of mine that was here already, that we met. We knew them. So she helped me get a job as a nanny. I used to work for a family. Mind you, that my words are still like, very like, hi, bye, hello, how are you, stuff like that. And this woman got a liking of me. I don't know how in the world that she hired me to watch her child every day from 8 to 6. She'll leave me papers with the the little pictures, like a bottle, 9 o'clock in the morning, a bottle, 9:30 change diaper, 1 p.m. lunch, whatever, she had like little pictures on a piece of paper. That's how I did in my first year here, not my first year, but like as a nanny. That was my job, and I did that, and it was fine. We did it. I got, good reference from her, start getting more English with them, start learning more English, and got another job with another friend of hers that she referred me to, and life kept going. I kind of went to school to learn more English, kind of like, wanted to be able to basically communicate. So started going to school, learn English, and did that. So in 2 years are horrible for me, guys. I don't remember anything, but we decided that my husband and I were gonna buy a house. So we got our first house in 96, maybe 1996, maybe. And gosh, tell me. But anyway, so we got the first house and we planned that way. We had a baby. My daughter was born in 98, and that was fine. We're living life. And then my mom and dad were in Brazil. My mom and dad were living in Brazil. When I had Nicole, they came here to help me with a little bit of being with me when Nicole was born. And they decided to move here. And my mom and dad decided to move here. We love the idea. Oh my gosh, yes, come and live here with us. They got here, and for them to work, they couldn't live here without being basically working. And we're not in that position to just come and we're gonna support you guys. It was more than you helping us, and we kind of helping you guys. So they moved here and they started working as house cleaners. Good job. They had a very good clientele, amazing, people that we met through these years with them. My sister and I helping them with English and making appointments, doing all of that, getting what the client want for them to do. And in years passed by, we're living life. My mom got diagnosed with breast cancer. And that's where I want to, all the introduction to get to this amazing woman. But I couldn't have done anything that I did, come here and all of that, without her support, without knowing that she was, behind me all through that. So she gets diagnosed with breast cancer. Okay, we're very surprised. We didn't even know wow, okay. And so we start treatment with her, everything. She was, and she I think is the most strong woman that I ever met in my life. I don't know how to explain to her. If you knew her, you knew her. She was a pain in the butt, but she was an amazing woman. She literally take the clothes off her body to give it to you. That's her heart. But she was also very stubborn. I don't know where I got this from. I don't know. But she was very stubborn. She was very the way she was. Excuse me, lovely person. but she was fighting with that disease, and she was like going to chemo. I was picking her up for chemo, and I would show up like, my beautiful self with no makeup, and like, because I don't wear a lot of makeup, and got there with my, my amazing look, and she looked at me like, what are you doing? Like, why do you look like that? Literally, that's my mom. Why you look like that? And I was like, what do you mean? I was like, I just, this is it. And she goes, no, 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 honey, we need to put a lipstick on, at least a lipstick. Let's put a lipstick on. So she'll make me put a lipstick on. We'll go to chemo, and she'll like get out of chemo, and I'll drop her off to help my dad clean the house. So just to give an idea how strong this woman was, she was an amazing person. And we fought, and she fought. I brought her to, we got to the point that they were living in their own place, and it was like too hard for me to just keep going back and forth. She was getting more and more, and progressive, like the disease, she was progressing more. So I was like, I can't, do that anymore. So let me just, move you in with me. So we moved her here with me, her and my dad, of course. We moved them here with us, and she was I have a master bedroom downstairs in my home. And so we put them there. My mom was there with the, like all she needed there. She had it there. And she was living here with us, having like, the fight. And I remember the day that we actually shaved her head. When I couldn't do it. I was like, I can't do this. So we had a very good friend of ours that came and said, I can do that for you guys. I'll help you with that. So we sat in her room at that point, all of us, and, like very emotional situation, because, I don't know if a hair defines the person, but it's a very big part of you. So it's like, for her it was like, and she was very like, she loves to look nice, and she loves to do her hair. She always like look presentable. So it was like a little big step for her to do that. And for all of us that were involved in that. So we shaved her hair, and she was like, oh wow, I look so cute. And she had like, what I want to say about it is that she had such a beautiful attitude. She had such a, like, even like with the things that were happening to her, even with the things that like, what she was going through, her attitude was like always a positive. She had a positive energy about her that was contagious to all of us, so we kind of like, you feel bad about the situation, but at the same time you feel like, what is God trying to do? What is he trying to teach you? What is he trying to show it to you? And that was the positive attitude that she always had. So we fought a good fight. She fought a good fight for 8 years. And then one time she was like, okay, I'm getting like too sick. I don't want to die in here. I want to die in my country. I want to go back to Brazil. So we decided, okay, it's your call. We'll let you do whatever you do. And we said, I can come with you. It's gonna be you and my dad. So we talked about it, and she decided to go. And she went there in February, I believe. And in May, Mother's Day, the day of Mother's Day, I got a call, and we've been like, of course, we've been talking through the time she was there. Like my dad and her and I were calling each other and knowing how progressive the things were, like what she was going through. And we, in May, Mother's Day, I got a call from my dad, and my dad say, I think this is it. I think we're not gonna have more time with mom. By that time, she was like already, she wasn't speaking, she wasn't recognizing anybody. And a couple weeks before that, I talked to her. And on that phone call, I know it's getting a little heavier, but it's okay. It's okay. It's part of life. And that's what I want to do. It's to tell you that even when life gets you stuff like this, have your stuff, we have an outlet. We have one-on-one. We have people to talk to. We have, if you have faith, you have God to go through. So it's okay to get heavy sometimes. But, even in the heavy times, we are here to support each other. And that's what I want to pass this out. That's why I want to do this, for people to know and to see it's okay, for women to see that's okay. a week before I think she went to the hospital, we had a phone call, and I told her, like, she was understanding still, and she told me, she calls me filha, and she goes, it's daughter in Portuguese. She said, filha, I think mom is gonna go. I think it's time for mom to go home. And I'd say, okay, mom. She was a Christian, so we believed that she was going home to the Father. So she said, I think it's time for me to go, and I'll see you soon. And I was like, not too soon. I'm just kidding. I said, okay, we'll see each other again for sure. She that was the last time I talked to her. And then she on Mother's Day she passed, and she passed, and she was okay. And and I told her on that phone call, I was like, you can go if you feel like it's your time. Go. We're gonna be okay. It's gonna be very hard, but we're gonna be okay. And that's life. That's life. And it took me a while to be able to talk about this. I'm still getting emotional, of course. It's like tough, but yeah, I couldn't do this, or I couldn't say anything like that before, because it was like so hard for me to comprehend. So if I want to give it a takeaway from this episode, is to let you know that take time with people that you love. Take time with people that you because if you think about it, life, it's so short, so precious. And sometimes we get caught up in stuff like, financials, time. We don't have time to do anything. Time is like, oh my gosh, I have to do this, I have time. I learned in my lifetime, and I'm gonna be 60 this year. So in December, I'm gonna turn 60. Took me a while to learn stuff, don't get me wrong, but I learned that people are way more important than things. Things you can accomplish, you can get them, they'll come to you if you work hard. But people, you have a limited time with them. Okay, so take time with people, enjoy conversations, listen to people, especially old people. They love to talk, and they love to talk about stuff that sometimes is not interested. Sometimes you're not like, oh, like really? But that's what they know. That's what they want to pass on. So take time, enjoy life, enjoy people. Okay, and that's my thinking for you. When my mom was here, one thing that I if I say regret, I don't regret, but I wish I had more opportunities to do it. When she was in my room living in there, she was like asking, like, I'll make dinner for everybody, and then I'll take her dinner to her, and I'll get my plate, I'll sit down for dinner, and she'll call me, Filha, can you come here for a second? I was like, oh my gosh, now I'm gonna, my dinner's gonna be cold and stuff like that. And I tell everybody that I talk to, and I tell my story to them, I tell them, I'll give today an arm and a leg to have her call me one more time. And I don't have that. So just keep everybody that you love close to your heart. Keep people close to your heart. That's what I have to say. Keep people close to your heart. And don't take people for granted. Don't think that, I'm not going to tell them that I love them today because I'll do it tomorrow. Tomorrow is never guaranteed to us. And it's not like a thing, like I'm being like super like, oh my God, No, it's not. It's nothing like that. You gotta see life the way life is. It takes you a while to understand. It takes you a while to be able to talk about it. But that's what it is. That's what grieving is. And grieving? I think it's grieving. I'm not sure. But that's what it is. It's like it takes you a while to understand what life is putting in your way. But if taking anything out of there is like, enjoy people, enjoy life, take time to make conversations, take time to listen to people, because that's very important. And it's one thing that you might not have the time to do, like a chance to do it again. So if I want to say anything, my mom was one of the most important women in my life. And I think the way I am today, the way I see life today, is because the way she saw life. And so I want to take that and just give it that, like, for you guys to get to know me a little better and see who I am and what do I do and why do I do things that I do. Okay? I love you all. I hope you guys enjoy. I hope I'm not boring you with anything that I'm saying. And I hope you enjoy all the episodes that's coming. They're amazing women. They have different stories. Some of them have the same stories. Never the same story, but the same situation. But you know, it's a different point of view, is a different lifestyle, is a different life, how they see life, and how do we go through stuff, and how do we act after we go through it. Okay, so I hope you guys enjoy. I hope you have a good time, and I love you. Thanks for watching. Thanks for taking the time to tell me that you guys like the things that I'm doing. I love everybody. I love you guys. I hope you enjoy it. Thank you.